Did your dad ever elaborate on how long it took him to collect the set?
No,
He didn't?
no, but I'm sure it probably took him at least a good year or so
right.
to find all these. And the nice thing is when I was checking, because we wanted to make sure it was a full set, so I was checking through and highlighting names. He actually did a pretty good job of putting them in order.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Overtime Cards Podcast. I'm Tate.
I'm Dawson.
And we are here with Jerome, who has one of the most fascinating sets in card history, the 1952 Topps baseball set. So, Jerome, thank you for coming on the podcast.
You're welcome.
As you guys can see, we got the holy grail of Mickey Mantle here, but I want to get some backstory first. How did you get this set? How does it infiltrated your life? And just expand on that.
My dad, when he was a kid, he loved baseball cards, and just started collecting. The good thing is he wasn't the typical kid that would put them in his bike spokes and ride around the neighborhood. But he did put them in a scrapbook, and he just kept collecting and ended up finding out that he had the whole 1952 set. So it was pretty neat to be able to see that and then just kind of keep it. It's hard to display it, but it was always, in a safe place that we could look at it if we needed to or wanted to.
It's crazy.
Well, I see that these are graded by PSA. We do that here at Overtime. Like, what was that process like, having these go through PSA and be graded?
Started the process here with Michelle. She kind of did the paperwork to get everything going, and then went out to the headquarters out there, got checked in, met with one of the guys out there. They basically walked through looking at the cards, double checking everything, and then they took them over, and it was probably about 10, 12 days. Got a call back and said they're ready. Went out and picked them up, and it was a pretty smooth process. It's pretty secure out there. I mean, you got to get checked in and sign in everything, and so it's kind of a neat process to go through it.
When you got to Overtime, because I was actually working in the shop when you guys first came in, I think. And how much did you guys know as soon as you came into the shop? Like, how much did you know about this? Did you know, obviously, the value that it could be worth and stuff like that?
I didn't know about the set as valuable as it is. I did know about especially the Mickey Mantle card and the Jackie Robinson and the other two, and then just talking with Chauncey in the store, and then we brought the set in, and Tanner was with us, and he was looking through it, and just you could see the excitement kind of.
Right.
Okay, this has got something to it. So it's that was kind of the nail in the coffin of going, yep, this could be fun.
Oh, for sure.
I was gonna ask you, which one do you have a favorite card in the set? Besides, let's exclude the Mickey Mantle.
I guess the one with Pee Wee Reese would be another one that I like. It's nice. The front of the cards are really good. Like I said, with the backs being in a scrapbook, it kind of puts a little hindrance on them. But with the fronts, the colors, just looking at some of the ones that I've seen online, I just think that the colors pop really well in the beginning.
Sure. Oh, yeah. Maybe hopefully you can tell on camera, but like the backgrounds there's no fading in it. And I haven't been personally to the Baseball Hall of Fame. I know you two have said before we started recording this that you have, that this one looks better than the one there.
Yeah.
Like that. What does the one at the Hall of Fame look like? Like, does it just look way faded?
It's kind of hard to kind of see it because they have what I remember, it's in a glass box. And it's has light shining on it, a lot of lights, so they try and make it look better than I think it is.
Right.
And it's like no one's getting to that card.
Yeah, it's just they shine light. That affects cards obviously with the coloring and stuff.
Yeah. Well, and I think as when I was growing up as a kid, we always had this in a kind of a dark, non-damp place where it just it didn't affect the cards as much. There was not a lot of light going on them, and when we did have them out, we didn't have the sun out. We didn't have the shades open or anything like that. So it was kind of a keeping it out of the light, so to speak, just to keep the colors as crisp as they are.
Did your dad ever elaborate on how long it took him to collect the set?
No,
he didn't?
No, but I'm sure it probably took him at least a good year or so to find all these. And the nice thing is when I was checking, because we wanted to make sure it was a full set, so I was checking through and highlighting names. He actually did a pretty good job of putting them in order.
Oh.
So there's a few pages that are out of order, but there's also some that have kind of come undone. But for the most part, it's pretty much 1 through 407. So that was
cool
nice.
That he did that,
Yeah, made it a lot easier.
Oh, for sure. So, like you said, there is 407 cards in this complete set. Obviously, you're looking for the Hall of Famers Mickey Mantle, Jackie Robinson, Willie Mays. You mentioned Pee Wee Reese, and that value. I mean, I'm sure if you collect cards, you know that this is a very highly valued set. That's why I said the Holy Grail.
Yeah.
But yeah,
This card alone might just be the most valued card ever,
yeah,
like in like trading card history.
I hear more about the Mickey Mantle card than I do the whole set.
right. That's me too.
That's
Yeah.
the thing.
Yeah.
It's like you talk about the 1952s. The first thing that comes up is the Mickey Mantle.
Right.
Exactly.
And that's the big one that
Eh.
you're looking for.
Oh
so
yeah.
if
100%.
sets don't have them, they're good sets, but you don't have the main piece
right.
that fulfills it.
And the thing that with me, like even like when we were kids, right, collecting cards, I feel like the first card you get to know that is like if you have that, you're rich, is this card.
Oh yeah.
Even if you're not a baseball fan, you collect Pokemon, like you know
Of this card.
of
Yeah.
this card, and then obviously you vamp on the set that they dumped pallets and pallets of it into the ocean, which makes it even more rare because it wasn't doing well, it wasn't selling well.
right.
And so the fact that it has so much history to go along with it obviously is going to raise the value, but then you got guys like we talked about before the podcast with Aaron Judge and Cal Raleigh bringing Mickey Mantle's name back up, like as you holding the set, when you see those guys bring his name, I wouldn't even say relevance because this card will always be relevant.
Oh,
Mickey
yeah.
Mantle's name will always be relevant. But how does that affect you with owning that set?
Well, it just kind of means a little bit more to it, brings it into perspective more of, having that card and knowing what he meant to the game and what he brought to the game. I think that in itself right there just kind of hopefully improves
Mhm.
upon what
Right.
we're going for with the set.
Mm-hmm.
And we come to know that you're going to take this to Golden. And I just want to know like what you're thinking about that and like how you assume that process will be.
From what I've heard, it's relatively simple. The gentleman I'm meeting out there I think his name is Frank. They're going to take it. They're going to look at it. They're thinking of possibly looking at it and seeing if they could get the cards out of the set or out of the scrapbooks to make them a little bit more valuable. But again, it's been in there since 52.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't know, what they can do. If they can to raise it, that's great. If not, I think just the presentation itself with the 4 cards being graded that are, I think, the most valuable out of the whole set.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there's a couple in here that could probably help it out as well if they got graded. But I think looking at how it's being presented through a scrapbook and kind of having the old, team logos that you see on the front. And then there's also some pictures of just the baseball guys in general through magazines that have been glued in and stuff
if
like
you look at
that.
the scrapbook, like the front of it, I think like this, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like if you look at it like with this on the cover,
I love that he did it in a scrapbook. I think that just adds more.
like I don't know if you can get a close up of some of these
uniqueness.
logos, like just the logos in general, like these. I'm assuming that's the Cubs,
Mm-hmm.
the Athletics,
Nationals up here.
I mean the Pirates, probably the Tigers. Like I've never even seen that logo.
How
But
long
it's
have you
just
guys
crazy.
had this set? Just kind of sitting around. What made you guys finally like take it in here and get it looked at and see what you had?
We got it last summer, I think it was. We brought it, talking to my mom. My dad's since passed, so we just kind of were looking at it and just kind of having a conversation and just, it's just sitting here.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard. In a way, it's kind of hard to display, but if you
Right.
have a way to do it, we don't. So we're looking at, we like the set. There's some sentimental value to it, but I know going forward with what it can mean to us and somebody else that can actually, that really gets into this and really loves this type of thing. Not that I don't. It's
Mhm.
just, it's something that I think would do better with somebody that can enjoy
Right.
it a little bit
Yeah.
more than we can.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's our goal is to see what, when it goes on auction, hopefully it's, it's a popular one. I think it would be, being a,
Oh, for sure.
the set that it is,
Yeah.
and with the Mickey Mantle one. I think that's our goal with this, is to let somebody else enjoy it. That we've had this, I've had this opportunity for many years,
Mhm.
and just kind of pass it on to somebody.
That's awesome.
So,
And I like the fact that you got authenticized instead of getting it actually graded with a number. And we talked about that. And they said, I'm assuming PSA told you right after you had gotten it graded that there's less pop in the authenticized, so there's less numbers of authenticized cards for Mickey Mantle than there is like once and stuff. When you were a kid, like, did you help him collect this set, or was it just kind of your dad's thing?
This was my dad's thing when he was a kid. I started collecting when I was a teenager, and I don't have very many, but I have some that probably going to be bringing in later on and letting you guys look at and see if we can, if they're worth getting graded or not. Hopefully they are, but by far this was his set, and this is what he leaned on. He loved taking it into card shops and showing it off, especially the 4, and just kind of making the card guys go, we could write you a check today. And he's like, no, I'm going to hang on to it, but would keep bringing it back to him. So.
Yeah, that takes some balls to take this set and show it and flex it. I mean, who wouldn't want to do that? But it's like,
I would never take this.
Yeah.
Might not leave like the drawer I have it in, let alone my house.
Yeah.
But that's hilarious. Safe wherever you would have it.
Yeah, it's been in safe ever since we've had the house that I grew up in, and then when we got it, it went right into our safe as well. So
that's awesome.
Just to and it's never left my sight if I've traveled somewhere, even on airplanes. It's with me, either at my feet or above me in the luggage carrier.
I wouldn't say I would treat it any different.
No,
no, not at all.
Well, Jerome, we appreciate you, not just us, the owners at Overtime. Obviously, Chauncey got to help you. Everybody appreciates you for you bringing this in and allowing us to talk about it, and you vamping on how you got your hands on it and all the backstory that it has with your family. So that's awesome. So we really appreciate you coming on.
Well, I appreciate you guys giving me the opportunity to kind of give a little backstory and, push it forward a little bit more as we go into the auction.
Yeah, we're super excited to see what happens here going forward with it going on Golden, and we couldn't be more appreciative. Thank you guys for listening and watching this podcast. Make sure you guys subscribe and like this video, and we will see you in the next one.
Peace.